Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another TEW2020 Predicts video where we use the magic board. It is Total Extreme Wrestling to gaze into the future and what is to come in the career of each episode a new up-and-coming, promising, exciting wrestler. You know, we done like the Bron Breakker, Carmelo Hayes, Roxanne Perez / Roxy, Hook, Dominic Mysterio, plenty of exciting up-and-coming superstars, and today is another from currently on NXT 2.0. It is Elayna Black, Cora Jade. Big fan, personally. Has a wrestling distinction in my mind of having not just one but two absolute banger theme song, because Twisted Generation and She's Just Dumb are both just bangers. No question. I preferred She's Just Dumb, to be honest, because that's just a real banger. But still, Twisted Generation also a banger. I'm going on a bit about the entrance theme, but they are bangers. Elayna Black, 21 years old, is Cora Jade. Member of Team 2001 with Roxanne Perez from last week. We saw how Roxanne Perez got on. How will Elayna Black go on? Starting on NXT. Decent little pop to grow with. Decent little stats to grow with. 3 years of experience. How will she get on? Will she stay on NXT 2.0? Just NXT here, but NXT 2.0. Will she, much like Roxanne Perez, move on to elsewhere? Plenty to think about, plenty that could happen, plenty we could see. But instead of could-ofs, let's see what it actually is. Without further ado, let's simulate forward to the end of the career of Cora Jade / Elayna Black and see what is to come in her young, upcoming, exciting and promising career. And here we are, Monday, week 1, January 2039. That's the first thing you'll notice. For Roxanne Perez, she retired at the end of 2050. And Cora Jade Elayna Black has retired at the end of 2038. I've gone to 2039. She's retired. She retired at the end of 2038. So a lot shorter a career for Cora Jade / Elayna Black. I'm just going to say Cora Jade from this point on because we'll be here all day if I keep saying both of them. But let's just have a look at her career. It's down as Elayna Black. Elayna Black, just a manager now, never wrestles, 20 years of experience in the Southeast, pop in the 80s, stats still really good, AEW Hall of Fame, WWE, GCW, NXT, and AEW. Just like Roxanne Perez, Roxy, she did go to AEW. And just like Roxanne Perez, Roxy, she clearly had a very good AEW career. Let's have a look at her headlines. She got engaged to Blake Christensen. I want to say NXT Trey Baxter was his name. You should know who he is. Then she got a broken neck and she was out for 14 months in November 2024, keeping her out until January 2026. A long, painful injury. WWE still extending her contract though. Afterwards, on the main roster, picked up another injury, a cracked tailbone. Only 28 days though, much shorter thankfully for her. She got pregnant in January of 2030. She gave birth in September of 2030 to a healthy baby boy with Blake Christensen. Returning to WWE, but then going and signing for AEW in March of 2031. She had her baby with Blake Christensen. Not in WWE, decided, I'm going to go AEW, where Blake is, let's say. Signing with them, officially joining them in April 2031 after quite a lengthy WWE career. I mean, she retired in 2038, so she spent longer with WWE than AEW at the very least. And then she got pregnant again, actually, in January 2033. Gave birth to a healthy baby boy in October 2033. So, at the moment, she has a 5-year-old. She and Blake Christensen have a 5-year-old son and a 8-year-old son. So, 2 healthy baby boys, 3 years apart. How lovely. Yeah. It's their first time in these experiment videos where we have someone giving birth. So good for her. And then she retired officially, fully, August 2038. I mean, fair. Wanted to just go home, relax, spent time raising her kids. You can't blame her. Inducted into the AEW Hall of Fame, so clearly did very well. How well did she do? Let's have a look at her title histories and see. Okay, not quite Roxanne Perez / Roxy, but Roxanne Perez / Roxy had a much longer time in AEW. Still a very good run from her in AEW to get into the AEW Hall of Fame. Before AEW though, on WWE television, no titles in NXT, but then went out to the main roster and she won every title available to her. She won the Raw Women's Championship August 2027 to November 2027. So she only held it for 3 months, but 3 months and 2 defenses, she did hold it. I mean, that's longer than most of Sasha Banks' championship reigns, so fair enough. And then July 2028 to November 2028, so a little bit of a longer run. Once again, ending in November, week 4 November of that. So 2 years in a row she lost the title. That was the SmackDown Women's title. So she held that for, August, September, October, 4 months. So she got an extra month out of that one at the very least. Oh, and then she's held both singles titles, and then the next year in 2029. So she won a title a year. I mean, that's fair enough. She won the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship with Sasha Banks. Speaking of Sasha Banks, there you go. April 2029 to June 2029. Only 2 months with one defense, but the Boss and the Skater did hold the women's tag gold. So she won everything on offer on the main roster for women in WWE. So she accomplished everything she could have wanted, even teaming with Sasha Banks, and then going to AEW, and I mean, clearly doing very well. Her first title was the TBS title, July 2031 to October 2031. Yeah, 3 months, 6 defenses. AEW with much more defenses as usual. Her first title, that TBS. And then she won the Women's World, December 2031 to February 2032. So she held that for 2 months and made 0 defenses, but still pushing her 2 months after she lost the TBS title into the women's title picture. Clearly shows how well she was doing and how strongly they thought of her. Women's World title run again, November 2032 till February 2033. So 3 months this time with 4 defenses. Another one not too long after she lost the Women's World title last time, less than a year. And then you do have to wait a bit till 2036. I think she gave birth in this period, maybe. 5 years? Maybe. Maybe not. I'm already confused on the births. Either way, though, March 2036 to May 2036, so 2 months. And these aren't the longest reigns she's had across her career, is it? 2 months, 2 defenses. Her 4th Women's World title reign, September 2036 to November 2036. So 2 months again with 1 defense. Then she won the TBS title for a second time, January 2037 to March 2037, 2 months, 1 defense. And then her final title reign, the Women's World Championship, August 2037 to November 2037, 3 months, 2 defenses. So 7 championships in AEW, 5-time Women's World title, 2 TBS titles, a Raw Women's, a SmackDown Women's, a Women's Tag Team, won all the gold on offer in every company she was in, minus NXT, but, you know, every mainland company, main WWE and AEW, she won all the gold and did everything she could have wanted. Achievement-wise, only 10% towards Hall of Immortals. Yeah, I mean, Roxy was 95%, I think. So if Roxy can't get it with all she did, Cora Jade was never going to, was she? Power 500, she was 426 in 2022, 2023 380, 2024 142. Not in it 2025, but in 2026 comes back in a major with 75, then up to 13 the next year, 30, 48, up to 19, 25, 2033 she's not in it, but 2038, 2034 she gets 38, then 2035 28, 2036 23, 2037 24, and that's all of her rankings. So she's not in it every year, but when she's in it, she's generally done quite well and got quite highly in it. So Elayna Black, in-ring wise, clearly has done well. Let's have a look at her match history just to confirm that. Across her career, all years, she has 235 wins to 172 losses. So that is, 407 matches, 235 wins. It's a positive record, clearly. Average rating of 77, which is pretty decent. Highest rating of 97, and lowest rating of 31. I'll give it a benefit of the doubt and say, yep, that was early days level up against Tiffany Stratton and against Fallon Henley. which brings the average down, obviously, with 31s, but a highest rating of 97 somewhere in there. I mean, God, I always try and find an example of the highest rating, and this is probably an easier way to do it. Let's just scroll through until I see it at the bottom. 97's in here. It's like a game of Where's Waldo, except I am generally awful. There you go. 97 on Raw. Io Shirai defeated Cora Jade in a cage match, which, yeah, does sound like a banger, so fair enough. Cora Jade across her career, positive record. Not that many matches, really, but still doing really well, putting in good performances in ring. I mean, let's go back to that 97 against Io Shirai. In that match, she put in a 93. So that's, you know, clearly an example of how she was doing in her last match. She put in a 82, so still really high. No issues, no complaints. Cora Jade, a very good career, I would say. We end off, as always, with the game. Is AEW still alive, or is Tony Khan bankrupt him? Once again, we haven't gone that far into the future, so Tony Khan might not have had the chance to bankrupt them yet. No, he has. Never doubt Tony Khan's ability to bankrupt this company. All Elite Wrestling, March of 2038. That's why Cora Jade retired so young, then, I'll assume. Because AEW said, oh, we're going out of business. And she said, I can't be bothered going anywhere else, so I'm off. And she retired. Financial difficulties, I'll assume. It usually is, Tony. I can't see it here, but it's usually financial difficulties from Big Tony Khan. God, people leaving, people recalled. They're not going to tell me. The final pay-per-view was Revolution, if you're curious. In the main event, Hook defeated James Drake and Ben Carter for the TNT title. And Marcus Mathers defeated CM Punk for the AEW World title. Okay, fair enough. AEW out of business, as always. And Cora Jade retired subsequently before, you know, she was in the AEW Hall of Fame, though. A very good career, winning all the titles possible wherever she could go in mainland wrestling. Sorry, NXT 2.0. A good career, I'd say, but doesn't matter what I think, it matters what you think. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the career of Cora Jade / Elayna Black. I've said Elayna Black probably this entire episode. Elayna Black. All the titles she has won. And paying attention, of course, she missed quite a lot of time in wrestling. She missed over a year, 14 months, over a year, because of the broken neck injury. And she missed a lot of time through 2 pregnancies as well. Has to be acknowledged. But still, done very, very well, I think. But yeah, what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know any superstars you would like to see similar experiments done with using the magic ball. It is TEW, Total Extreme Wrestling. And while you're down there, why don't you leave a comment and subscribe for more if you have enjoyed. I hope you have, because as always, I just want to say thank you for watching.